Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. An MRI, as expected, confirmed that Bucks power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo has a right calf strain. His potential return date remains uncertain. Milwaukee has not considered resting him the rest of the season despite his history of calf issues. And despite the injury, there is no lack of interest in Giannis ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. It's time the sides part ways, advises ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
At this point, Giannis is wearing out his welcome, and that, on the other hand, the Bucks are just holding on for what? When you could trade this guy and get back with everything and more. And at some point, somebody's going to have to make a stance. I think I put more ownership on Giannis to go to the front office and tell them what he wants than them just, because they're just going to continue to hold on.
NFL, the Bills interviewed Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb for their head coaching job today. They're also considering Jacksonville offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who withdrew from consideration for the Browns vacancy. Cleveland QB Shedeur Sanders added to the Pro Bowl games, replacing New England's Drake May, who's busy getting ready for Super Bowl 60.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday. The Super Bowl might be 2 weeks away, but it's never too early to give you my keys to the game. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Super Bowl 60 is set. Charlie Weis turns down another NFL team. Should the Saints be in the running back free agent market? We got a ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
So Friday was huge. Jordan Seaton did, in fact, pick the Tigers. We were almost 72 hours now from that announcement on Friday night. But it was massive for Lane Kiffin to put the cherry on top of this elite, epic haul of a portal class. We're going to head out to Boulder. Brian Howell covers Colorado. We'll get a little behind-the-scenes insight on Seaton's time there at Colorado. But we all know, pretty incredible get here for LSU to get that one across the finish line. 42 players in the portal class. They are done. Of the 42 players they added, only 4 have 1 year of eligibility remaining. Very clear how they went about building this portal class, which was rebuilding so you don't have to do this again next year and add 40-plus players via the portal. I'm not so naive as to think you're going to have guys like Seaton and potentially Sam Levitt and other guys like Jackson Harris for multiple years. You're going to lose guys in this class after 1 year, aside from the guys with 1 year of eligibility. But they put this class together with that eye on saying, we don't want to be back here signing 42 guys again next year. So get guys that can help us immediately and help us for multiple years. And Seaton, we'll see if he's a multi-year guy. Very likely not. But he is the bookend that LSU was looking for, and they beat out Miami and Oregon to get him. So we will talk more about Jordan Seaton here in about a dozen minutes from right now. Just when you think things are settling, another story sort of kicks up. And this was not one that was on my radar in any way, but Diana Rossini, if you missed it, early in the day on Monday, tweeted, as we're still in the coaching carousel here, the coaching cycle for the NFL, tweeted that LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis was apparently being pursued by another NFL team, this time the Philadelphia Eagles. And according to Diana Rossini, Weis and the Eagles spoke about the offensive coordinator vacancy, but Charlie Weis informed the Philadelphia Eagles he has chosen to remain in Baton Rouge with Lane Kiffin and the LSU Tigers. Again, that was a report on Monday morning from Diana Rossini. So there's a few things here that I do think are notable. This is the second time in this NFL hiring cycle that we've seen an NFL team show interest in Charlie Weis. The first time was the New York Giants, and that makes a lot of sense. We can all understand the Giants made a first-round pick investment in their quarterback, Jackson Dart. Their thought is, let's reunite Dart with his college OC. Boom, go make beautiful music together. I get it. And Charlie Weis wasn't interested. So he stayed at LSU. That felt like a very specific targeted opportunity for Weis because of the Jackson Dart connection. When the Philadelphia Eagles come calling, all of a sudden, this doesn't quite make as much sense, at least not from the standpoint of the connectivity and sort of the incestuous nature of the coaching carousel, the coaching profession. This is one where the Eagles probably looked and said, we think he's a bright young offensive guy. Let's see if he's interested in our job. Now, it is fair to mention Jalen Hurts, of course, started his career at Alabama. In his freshman season back in 2016, Charlie Weis was an analyst on that staff at Alabama. So that's where he started his career after he graduated from Kansas, was a quality control coach at Florida in 2011, was a team manager at Kansas for a few years, and then was an offensive analyst at Bama in 2015 and 2016. So he was an offensive analyst in 2016 when Jalen Hurts was a freshman. But, y'all, we're going way far back. It's not like the 22-year-old analyst at the Alabama program a decade ago is the reason why the Eagles would show interest in Charlie Weis. They think he's a smart offensive guy. So this is something to watch. I think there's a couple of components here that are notable. One, I don't know what Charlie Weis's career ambition is. Does he want to be a college head coach? Does he want to go be a coordinator in the NFL and someday become an NFL head coach? Remember, his dad, Charlie Weis Sr., spent a decade and a half as an NFL assistant from 1990 when he was with the Giants all the way through that long run with the New England Patriots as their offensive coordinator, where he won 4 Super Bowls during his NFL tenure. So he was a very successful NFL coordinator, something that his son certainly saw. And then became the head coach at Notre Dame and then later Kansas. But the point being, he's had both experience. Charlie Weis Jr. has had the experience of watching his dad do both NFL and college and can lean into that experience. We just don't know what he wants. He's 32. He may not know yet what that career ambition is. I think everybody wants to be a head coach at some level, but is it college or pro? I don't know. So it might be like a Joe Brady situation, where Joe Brady just did not like the college game. He did not want to recruit. So he was always going to be destined for the NFL. And he went to the Panthers, now the Bills, and probably on a fast track to be an NFL head coach. I don't know if that's what Charlie Weis Jr. wants. Someone will have to ask him. And if we get the opportunity to interview him here, I will ask him that. But I also think it's worth noting that he's already had a lot of experience as a college OC, both from being Lane Kiffin's OC at FAU when he was hired there in 2018, and then going to South Florida for 2 years before rejoining Kiffin's staff in 2022 at Ole Miss, where he's been the last 4 years, and now in Baton Rouge. But as this conversation pertains to LSU, I think two things can be true at the same time. I think Charlie Weis can be a very valuable asset to Lane Kiffin and a really good offensive coordinator and play caller. And also true that Lane Kiffin offense has followed everywhere he's gone with or without Charlie Weis. Keep in mind, I mentioned the 2 seasons that Weis was at South Florida. Okay, so Kiffin leaves Alabama, gets a head coaching job at FAU in 2018. He hires Weis as his OC. He's there 18-19. And then in I guess Kiffin went there in 17, but Weis joined him in 18. So Weis is there in 18-19, then goes to South Florida for 2021. Those were Kiffin's first 2 years at Ole Miss. The 2 seasons that Lane Kiffin was at Ole Miss without Charlie Weis, his first 2 years, 2020 and 2021. In 2020, Ole Miss was 3rd in the country in total offense, 555 yards a game, and 14th in scoring at 39.2 points per game. 2021, Ole Miss was 6th in the country in total offense, 492 yards a game, and 24th in scoring at 33.7 points per game. Point is, you are glad to have Charlie Weis. And I believe if Lane Kiffin thinks he's an asset, he's an asset. And you saw that at Ole Miss when Kiffin left and Weis continued through the playoff and he continued calling plays, doing a great job. Like, that is true. Charlie Weis is a great asset. So, too, is it true that even without Charlie Weis, LSU's offense, as long as Lane Kiffin is here, should be great? It's the same analogy, or the comp is Nick Saban defensively. Nick Saban had great defensive coordinators. I mean, you could look at Kirby Smart or Kevin Steele, Tosh Lupoy, Pete Golding, Jeremy Pruitt. You had great defensive coordinators. But the consistent variable there was Saban. Will Muschamp at LSU. As long as Saban was there, his teams are always going to play great defense. As long as Kiffin is here, LSU should always be great on offense, regardless of if Charlie Weis is here or not. Again, I'm not trying to devalue Charlie Weis. He's an important asset. But as long as Kiffin is there, it's why you're paying him what you are to lock down one side of the football. So I don't know what the future holds for Charlie Weis. If he'll be in Baton Rouge for a year and then go to the NFL, he'll be in Baton Rouge for a year, become a head coach. I don't know. I don't have the answers. It's important to note also that the way that his buyout structure was written is that Weis can leave to go to the NFL to be a play caller, and his buyout is nullified. So if he goes as a primary play caller to the NFL, he has no buyout. He could leave and just no penalty. Or to be a head coach at the NFL or college. So that's always a possibility that lingers there. But for now, Charlie Weis has rebuffed not one but two NFL teams that have made passes at him here in this offseason with the Giants and the Eagles. This may very well become a recurring theme every offseason for as long as Charlie Weis is here. As long as the offenses continue to roll while he's here, I think everyone will be A-okay. All right, it's after further review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU, and the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Y'all, we're less than 2 weeks away now from Super Bowl 60. You better know that Bud Light is going to have their Super Bowl commercials. As a matter of fact, Budweiser released today their new Super Bowl ad. It's interesting that all these are done so far in advance now, but it's basically following and chronicling a baby Clydesdale. Of course, the Budweiser Clydesdale is such a huge part of their whole brand and everything. But anyway, they released it today, I believe, on Good Morning America. Mockler Beverage has the Super Bowl commercial up on their Facebook, their Instagram, if you want to go check it out. If you follow Mockler Beverage Company on social media, you can see the Super Bowl ad there. Make sure you have the sound up when you do. And make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. Let's head to Boulder. LSU did, in fact, land a commitment from Jordan Seaton. Brian Howell covers Colorado football. We'll talk to him next on AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Follow Gordon on all the social medias at @GetGordon, @GetGordon. If you want to do that, you can do it at @GetGordon. And remember, I always encourage you to check out the website because there's so many great resources at Gordon's website, including their results page. Sometimes I think people may see the big dollar amount and become sort of fixated on that. And while that is important and impactful, I think what's even more important is when you look at the results page, when you click results, you'll see all the many different types of cases that Gordon and his team handle. And some are really large settlements and some are relatively, but it's all about getting you what you're entitled to get your life back to normal. So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trust it?
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Don't wear your old team's gear in this facility. That's disrespectful. That would be like your lady that you have currently wearing her ex stuff. How you feel about that? She's sitting up there with a shirt on that has her ex name, while you taking and feeding and booing her up. That's how I feel about that when I see you come into the cafeteria, you eat our food with your last teams on. Obviously, if you want to stay there, you should have stayed.
That's not an unreasonable request. Coach Prime. Brian Howell covers Colorado for the Boulder Daily Camera. He's on Twitter at Brian Howell33. If you want to get him there, you can. Buff Zone as well. Hey, Brian, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. That didn't seem like an unrealistic request from Dion, right?
No, I mean, that should be a standard request,
right?
Shouldn't it?
Oh, is that like a problem? We're like why did this become a story?
I don't know. If he's saying it, he must have seen players doing it,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these guys, maybe they've been at 2 or 3 schools. They've got a whole bunch of gear from different schools, and maybe they haven't been issued all of their Colorado gear yet. I mean, so many of those players just got here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, think about coaches sometimes too. Like if you've been on the coaching carousel, you've coached 5, 10, 15 places in your career, like how much gear you must have just stacked up. But one of those guys who's changing jerseys is Jordan Seaton. He's picked LSU. Let's start with an obvious one. How good is Jordan Seaton?
He's pretty good. He was Colorado's best offensive lineman the last couple of years by far, and that's even being a true freshman in 2024 and, true sophomore this year. I mean, he was their best guy. It's not saying a lot because obviously the offensive line has not been great at Colorado, but really talented player, awesome man.
How did they get him out of the D.C. area to go to Boulder?
Well, I think that, Coach Prime being there helped a lot. Blocking for Shedeur Sanders helped a lot. I think some money helped a lot. I think those three things played a big role. And, Shedeur had a big hand in recruiting him there. And I think the opportunity to block for Shedeur in that 2024 season and play with Travis Hunter was a big deal to him.
Sure. This year obviously was a disappointing one there in Boulder. What do we know why he chose to go in the portal?
Well, I'm guessing, especially based on when he put his name in, money. I think that most people thought he was going to leave. The fact that it was 3-9, you could see him not being happy on the sidelines at times. But I think most fans probably thought he would leave. But then 10, 12 days in the portal, he's still sitting in Colorado, and people got their hopes up. And then all of a sudden, he went in the portal. And the story is that maybe some people got to him and told him, hey, there's some money to be made out here if you jump in the portal.
Do we kind of know, Brian? I don't know what the story is there, what you've been able to find out or report, but I saw like the first report was that the bidding would begin at 2.5. Do we know? Do you have any sense of financially what was out there for Jordan Seaton?
I don't, other than what's been reported. Obviously, I'm not talking with Jordan Seaton or his people, and I think so much of this stuff that's out there, who really knows what these real numbers are? But it sounds like everything was pretty high, and he's one of the highest paid guys, especially non-quarterback, in the portal. And Colorado can't afford that; they just can't. And so it made sense. He's a player that in this era should be paid a lot of money based on the way the market is, and Colorado couldn't match that.
I'm curious why not, Brian. I guess for the perception outside is, well, they had Shedeur and they had Travis Hunter, and you got Seaton there out of high school who was a 5-star. So what was the issue in being able to afford to keep him?
Well, they just don't have a lot of money. They don't have the big name boosters, and it's not a big money program. I mean, this is an athletics department that we wrote about earlier, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago or whatever. They're facing a $27 million deficit for this fiscal year that they're trying to make up, and part of that is the rev share payments they're going to have to make and the raise they gave Dion this last year. So they don't have a lot of money. They're not real cash rich over there, and they don't have the big money boosters. And so I think they're a program that if you've got $4 million to spend, you don't give it to one player. You can give it to 8 players and maybe help your team a little bit better.
Makes sense. Brian Howell is with us. Buff Zone and the Boulder Daily Camera covers Colorado. Any idea what kind of locker room guy Jordan Seaton is?
Well, I don't know in the locker room. I didn't hear a lot about what he was like as a leader. I know that with us in the media, I like him a lot. He's a fantastic young man. He was one of the more well-spoken players. One of the most well-spoken freshmen I'd ever seen when he was here in 24, and really personable. I think he was liked by his teammates, but I don't really know what he was like in the locker room. I know leadership was a big problem for this team last year, and clearly he was not one that was stepping up. Nobody was really stepping up, but leadership was an issue for Colorado.
It's always interesting to look at that program just because of the Deion Sanders, the Coach Prime angle of it. How would you describe covering that program for the last 3 years with Deion?
Well, it's been interesting. I think it's more normal than people would think. What's been interesting is just he's different with us. He's a celebrity, and so we don't have nearly as much access to him as I'm used to having with head coaches. I've covered this program for 16 years, and I've talked to him less than any head coach I've ever covered. Not even close.
Sure.
I did a one-on-one with him. I went down to Atlanta to cover the Celebration Bowl, his last game at Jackson. That's the last one-on-one I've had with him.
Wow.
3 years of him being in Boulder, I've never once had an opportunity to sit down and chat with him. So it's different in that regard. We don't have much access to players like we used to have in the past. And so in that regard, it's different. And he's different, and certainly 2023 and 24, there was a lot of celebrities around, a lot of stars and things like that. So that was pretty wild.
Two more for you, if I could. Marshall Faulk is leaving the Colorado staff to come be the head coach at Southern here in Baton Rouge. Any thoughts on how Marshall might do as a head coach?
Yeah, that was an interesting one because he had never been involved in coaching before. When they hired him last year, it was kind of surprising because he had never been a coach. But I think that being here and in talking to him a couple times we did, he got the coaching bug. I think he really learned to like that aspect of the job, like mentoring young people. And, he's got a background in finances and things like that. So he likes mentoring people on that regard as well. I think he'll do well because I think he's a mature guy that's, organized and will really kind of organize that team a little bit.
One more on Seaton. Do you know if the expectation is for him to be at LSU for 1 year? Like, was he always going to be like a 3 years and go to the league type situation?
That's my guess. I think that was his expectation always. I think that, he's on track to be a first-round pick. And I think most people around here expected that if he came back to Colorado, it was going to be 1 more year, and he'd be a first-round pick in 2027. So I'd be surprised if he was around there more than 1 year, unless he doesn't have a good year and he's not projected as a first-round pick.
Brian Howell covers Colorado for BuffZone.com, also the Boulder Daily Camera at Brian Howell 33 if you want to give him a follow. Brian, we appreciate it, man. Thank you for the time.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yep, it's our pleasure. We're brought to you by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com for your reservations, supperclubbtr.com. We are less than 2 weeks away now from Valentine's Day, from this past Saturday. Where was it, 2 or 3? 3 weeks. We're less than 3 weeks, from Valentine's Day. It was 3 weeks from this past Saturday. They're booked already for Valentine's Day, guys. So if you're thinking, oh, man, no, they're booked on Saturday. Feb 14, Valentine's Day is a Saturday. So they're booked on Saturday. When I talked to Chef Layton at the end of last week, they had a few spots left for Friday if you want to try to get in. But remember also, that is the big Mardi Gras weekend. That's Endymion, Bacchus, Orpheus. So if you're going to be heading down to New Orleans to do Mardi Gras, why not go celebrate Valentine's Day earlier in the week? And you can do it at Supper Club. So get your reservation, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Listen, whether it's Valentine's Day or a birthday, an anniversary, any day, the best place to go celebrate is at Supper Club. Get your reservations, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. All right, it is after further review. We'll go around the SEC here in just a quick second. I did think it was interesting about Seaton there. The fascinating part of the conversation about these guys now is that because there is a lot of money to be made, you do have players extending their college careers. And I think there's two parts of this. Number one, I think that is fantastic for the college game. It is the anti-one and done in college basketball, where you have guys that the NBA basically, that's by the way an NBA rule. You have to be 1 year removed from high school to be able to go to the NBA. And of course, that's a buffer that the NBA has in place to put their protections in to make sure that they're not missing on players. You see a guy who looks awesome against high schoolers, spend a year in college, maybe it looks a little different. You get more of a sample size. You get more information to make your draft decision. But that's terrible for the college game because you have so much roster turnover, the one and done rule. In college football, and I guess to an extent maybe college basketball now as well, you have guys like Whit Weeks is a prime example. In a different era, Whit Weeks would have never been back in school, or Harold Perkins would have never come back for this year in college. So you have better players staying in school longer, improving the product. Now, if Jordan Seaton plays a great year at LSU and is a projected top half of round one guy, he could and should go to the NFL. But when you have money to spend in the millions of dollars, there's always the possibility, anyway, that someone could entertain that possibility of returning to school. But see how it goes. In the meantime, for LSU, they've got their big left tackle, Jordan Seaton, did make it official on Friday. He committed, but then a short time later, LSU announced it, which means he did officially sign. He is an LSU Tiger. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll knock out a quick break. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. We'll go around the SEC when we return. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions, Glow Resources and glowresources.com with a 96% success rate. That means 96% of the time when they find an employee for your business, that permanent employee solution works. And in the very rare instances where it doesn't,
Ta-da!
they will give you a prorated refund or find you another employee for free. And
back it up.
They take care of everything. For those employees, they take care of workers' comp, child support, deductions, health insurance, dental insurance, general liability. And people may live or work in a certain market, but have operations all over. They will follow no matter where the job is. Like they currently have employees from the States working jobs in Africa, for example. No matter how big or scalable your operation is, you need the right people, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned by showing up, putting in the work, the hours that nobody sees. I didn't get here on my own. I trust my coaches to lead, my teammates to step up, and when the game is on the line, Our Lady of the Lake to keep me healthy and on the court. Because it takes a champion to care for a champion. I trust the Lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
There's always regrets. Yeah, I mean, felt like, here we are, 4th and 1. We felt close enough that, and it's also a call you make based on the team you're playing and watching on the other side of the ball. So yeah, there'll always be second thoughts.
Sean Payton, when asked about not kicking the field goal in the first half, Denver was up 7-0, driving. They're in the red zone, 4th and 1. He passes on a chip shot field goal when the weather was still nice. would have put his team up 2 scores with a backup quarterback. We know the rest of the story. Stidham would have the fumble, give the short field touchdown to New England. Pats would have a field goal, 10-7's your final. Denver didn't score again. So I know it's something we talk about a lot here. I don't understand. I do know that these coaches are way smarter than me. They commit their lives to these things. I just think that in this era where there's so much more access to analytics, I think sometimes coaches in all sports are paralyzed by analytics. And or maybe they I don't want to say paralyzed by analytics. That's not the right way to say it. A better way to say it is they just become too reliant on it. I think you see coaches now more than ever going for it on fourth down, going for 2 after touchdowns early in the game when it's not necessary. I guess I just always had this fundamental belief, and it's okay if you disagree. I don't think that this has to be like a hard and fast argumentative thing. I just believe in points. The objective is not to get yards. The objective is to get points. And the counter argument is like, okay, well, he was trying to get 7 points there. I get it, but you passed on 3. And whenever you affect the scoreboard, you affect strategy. Like every decision made thereafter is affected by your opportunity to affect the scoreboard. So in that instance, for example, if you take the 3 and you're up 2 scores, maybe on that play where Stidham made the errant decision to sort of fling the ball and went backwards, like maybe that's a different play call. Or maybe New England is in a different defense. Or maybe with the knowledge that he's up 10-0, Stidham just eats it and takes a sack. Maybe none of those things happen. It's a butterfly effect that we can't know. But undeniably, affecting the scoreboard changes strategy. The way you approach maybe a fourth down call later in the game is different if you're up 1 score or 2. Your opportunity to, at the end of the half, try to be aggressive is affected by if you're up 1 score or 2. There's all different ways that things can play out that way. I'm just a believer in score points. Like, affect the scoreboard and put pressure on your opponent every opportunity you have. And in that situation, I think Sean Payton made a terrible decision, and it cost his team a shot at the Super Bowl. So Sean Payton is now 1-3 in his 4 conference championship games. And look, the first one he was in year 1 in New Orleans, they were outclassed in Chicago by a better Bears team. I was at that game. Of course, they went to the won the NFC Championship game in 2009, went to the Super Bowl, won it. They were no-called in 2018, and then, of course, this one in the snow in Denver was brutal. You know, the thing that some often forget, though, is even with the no-call, as heinous and awful and miserable as that was, I was at that one as well. You know, it's the Saints also had the ball to start overtime, and Drew Brees threw an interception. You had your opportunities in that one. So it's unfortunate, man. Sean Payton is a great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach. And part of his legacy, though, are some of these postseason shortcomings. And some of them have been all-time historically bad. The Minneapolis Miracle, the Nola no call, you know, the San Francisco game in 2011 in the divisional round. It's brutal. Just another chapter there for Sean Payton. But also true is the fact that he's taken Bo Nix and had Bo Nix as the 1 seed in the AFC Championship game, and with Jarrett Stidham as his quarterback, was on the brink of going to another Super Bowl. So just take the good with the bad with all of them. The other part of that conversation, of course, is the weather, which I guess we could talk a little bit about that. I don't know that my opinion is going to shock you, but we'll delve into that in a little bit. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. Look, all that rain that came through, you know, over the weekend and Friday and Saturday and Sunday, which led to all the the inclement conditions that for a lot of parts of our state and parts of our region have led to problems that folks have had, water intrusion and other things. If you do have water intrusion, if you've got mold or think you might, or some of those issues, and you need remediation services, remember, Parish Restoration can help. Parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. I told you often, Jim Woodworth, his career began in the recovery efforts post 9/11. He's a military man who was in the Air Force post 9/11, helped in the recovery efforts in Manhattan, made his way back down south after the BP oil spill, and has stayed. Runs Parish Restoration now. So, if you need restoration or remediation, Parish Restoration can help. Just go to parishrestoration.com. Fill out the form there on the homepage, parishrestoration.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Missouri Tigers.
Ole Miss wide receiver Caden Lee is now Missouri wide receiver Caden Lee. So he'll join his former quarterback, Austin Simmons, who's now Missouri quarterback, Austin Simmons. So it's a number one receiver there for Mizzou, 4-star here in the portal, the 26th best receiver available. Number 113 prospect in the portal, according to 24/7. Had 106 catches for 1,600 yards over 3 seasons in Oxford, played in 38 games. Had a chance to interview Caden Lee at SEC Football Media Days last year in Atlanta. Awesome dude, and wish him well there in Como.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss, meanwhile, has landed Miami transfer Tommy Kinsler IV. Big pickup on the offensive line there out of Miami. 6'6", 340. He played behind Francis Mauinoa, who, of course, is going to head to the draft and very likely be a first-round pick, maybe the first offensive lineman taken. So Kinsler was supposed to battle for the starting spot next season, but instead it's transferring to Ole Miss.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Speaking of the offensive line, Bama and their offensive line coach, Chris Kaplovich, they parted ways. Kaplovich went to Tuscaloosa there on Kalen DeBoer's inaugural staff, so he's there for 2 seasons after being at Michigan State for the previous 4. But that offensive line really has struggled the last 2 years. So Kaplovich, heads roll.
The Florida Gators.
And Florida's announced kickoff time for their 2026 Orange and Blue spring game. It'll be Saturday, April the 11th at noon. Interesting. A lot of programs haven't even announced spring dates yet. Florida's already announced their spring game time, but in any event, they'll begin practice on March the 3rd as they begin their maiden voyage there under John Summerall. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Monday shows presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. With the weather that we had last night, today, and are expecting tonight with temps dipping down in the 20s, it's an awesome opportunity to remind you about the importance of energy-efficient windows. You install these energy-efficient replacement windows. They're going to measure twice, install once. The windows are custom made for the exact specification of your home. It's going to reduce those costly air leaks, make your home less drafty. I mean, you feel it. Like when it's 20 degrees outside and you're in a home with drafty windows, you feel how cold your home can be. Of course, you want your heater to have to work less, to work more efficiently to keep your home climate controlled. You want energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters too. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR. Ton to get to. You can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Super Bowl 60 is set. We will be there in Santa Clara. Actually, we're actually be in San Francisco next week, so we're looking forward to that. And a very notable distinction for 5 former LSU Tigers that'll be playing in the game. We'll knock that around as we come back at AFR.
After Further Review.
So, of course, the freeze is here, and Clegg's Nursery had the day off like so many businesses did, closing down while things are the way they are. But, man, really, I think largely in Baton Rouge, we were spared, thankfully. But as we all start to thaw out and get back out, Clegg's will open back up and gearing up for spring, which is right around the bend. They got new shipments of plants arriving almost daily. So we are in the just plant something mode. Perfect time to plant trees, shrubs, and fruit trees. Seriously, if you are thinking about planting a tree, like you have to do it now. Like this is the season to get those trees and shrubs in the ground. Clegg's has an amazing selection. Again, locally grown, and they've got shipments arriving daily from their greenhouses to all 4 locations. Segan Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. 5 former LSU Tigers will be participating in Super Bowl 60. It's pretty awesome, man. 4 from the AFC champion New England Patriots. Caleb Chasson, Will Campbell, Kayshon Boutte, Braden Swinson, they'll all be representing the AFC with the New England Patriots. And, man, feel good for all of these guys. Swinson is a guy that was on the practice squad and signed to the active roster, but the other 3 just made a massive impact this year for New England. Will Campbell, the 4th overall pick, starting at left tackle as a rookie. And I understand Campbell sort of notoriously had a rough go in these playoffs. I was having a conversation late last week with someone with deep NFL ties who brought up Campbell hitting the rookie wall. And it actually does make a lot of sense. And this isn't an LSU person, by the way. This was someone who told me, look, you go from playing high school ball, then you get into college, and even with college, when you start your fall camp throughout August, and then you're done at Thanksgiving, and maybe you prepare and play a bowl game or whatever. But you think about the NFL, training camp starts in July. You play 3 preseason games, and because Campbell was going to be starting as a rookie, he was playing in the preseason. And then you play a 17-game regular season with 1 off week. And then now he's played 3 playoff games. That's 23 football games plus training camp with one off week. I mean, that is, you just don't go through that. And so you hear about it a lot in other sports. Terrio's talked about it in baseball. When you're a pitcher who's pitching every fifth day instead of like in college, and very seldom, obviously, do pitchers go from a college rotation to a big league rotation. But even still, when you're going to the pros, you're still pitching every fifth day to condition your arm to be able to throw every fifth day. Like a lot of guys, by the time they get to their 25th start, like it's a lot. It's more than they're used to doing. Same in the NBA. When you play 82 games, when you're playing double the amount or more than double the amount of games you're used to playing, by the time you get to April and May, like your legs are gone. So I think that's what you're seeing with Campbell. Kayshawn is one of the great stories. And I love listening to Kayshawn talk very candidly about, how he's battled through what he faced. He actually wrote in the Players Tribune about how he was addicted to gambling, to sports betting when he was at LSU. He wrote a story published late last week over the weekend. But to get himself back in shape on the straight and narrow and delivering like the first-round pick he was projected to be is awesome. And then Chasson sort of is a great illustration of a guy who sometimes, like, a change of scenery, like his old Sheryl Crow said, so a change will do you good. Like, I think just being in a different spot with a coach and Mike Vrabel, who's a defensive-minded coach by nature, who knows how to use you and your skill set, has been awesome for Caleb on Chasson. So I feel great for all the guys in New England, man, getting to do that. And then how about Anthony Bradford? Bradford, who is just a big old interior defensive lineman for Seattle. Damian Lewis was drafted by Seattle, but then signed as a free agent with Carolina, which is where he is now. But Bradford, they're manning one of the guard spots in Seattle. Really cool to see him have the success that he's had and to keep trucking along now, make it to the Super Bowl. So, you'll have an LSU Tiger, at least one LSU Tiger, that'll be a Super Bowl champion, be it Bradford representing Seattle in the NFC or the four guys we just mentioned with New England in the AFC. All right, it is After Further Review. We are brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, they are synonymous. I mean, you see Lane Kiffin wearing the Our Lady of the Lake hat at the LSU basketball game, on the field with Jordan Seaton at their Tiger Stadium visit, posting a photo of that hat as well. There's no doubt that our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, with the many different NIL endeavors that they've embarked upon, partnering with so many LSU athletes, have been a big part of the portal haul that LSU just landed. But on top of that, remember, every time you see those LSU athletes on the field, the court, the diamond, the floor, whatever it may be, the gym, they're entrusting their health care to the championship health partners at Our Lady of the Lake, just like I do. My general physician is Dr. Kurt Chastain. Drew sees specialists over at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. World-class healthcare right here in Baton Rouge. It's Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. I don't even know if I mentioned it, but so with those guys going to the Super Bowl, the streak is 25 years. So it's 25 years now that LSU will have a player in the Super Bowl. So, and someone is guaranteed to win it. There's been a big conversation here over the last day since the AFC Championship game about weather. I don't think my opinion is going to change anybody's mind. Mike Vrabel was asked about the weather in the second half and how that impacted the game and their decisions throughout that game.
Well, I mean, I would say halfway through the third quarter. I think when we got that field goal, and again, wished it would have been able to be a touchdown, but it wasn't. And then, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And our defense was playing really good, and we were able to do just enough to give them a break, and even kicking the football and the operation. And I mean, that stuff is things that you can't really replicate back home.
Yeah, it's not football. I know people are like, oh, it's football weather. No, it's not. It's literally not football weather. It's something you don't prepare for all year at all, and then in the second most important game of the season, weather plays a giant impact. It's stupid is what it is. I know there are going to be people that say, well, the weather is an element of variable, and there's going to be people who love that and say, we got to deal with it, just like the human element. There's so much at stake that it just seems silly. Maybe I saw this on Twitter, and it's the best actually answer. There's a reason why the NFL only plays the Super Bowl in warm weather cities or dome stadiums. For this exact reason. You don't want that to happen at the Super Bowl. You want it to be a level field where the teams and the coaches and the players and the strategy and the scheme, that's what's going to determine your champion, not who manages the slip and slide in the snow better. It's just stupid. I mean, it was interesting. It was entertaining, but in no way is that appropriate. So whatever. Look, eventually we're going to get to the point where everybody builds a new stadium and everybody has a dome or a retractable roof or something like that. And so things like that won't happen, and I'll be glad when we see that day. But I know there are those of you who disagree with me, and that's cool too. So, all right, we'll get Sports Center national headlines when we come back. We'll move on. Senior Bowl, what are we learning? AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. For Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Love telling you about Lee Michaels. Love our friends over at Lee Michaels. Man, they're so great. 9 different locations in communities all over Louisiana. 2 locations here in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. You want to find the location nearest you can. lmfj.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. And remember, y'all, we are less than 3 weeks away from Valentine's. So, gents, if you want to get her the gift that is going to thrill her and make you a hero this Valentine's, thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Beautiful earrings, necklaces, pendants, watches, rings. They got everything. Bracelets, they got everything at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. A gorgeous selection to match any budget. Check them out online at lmfj.com and go shop and see them today at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A couple of days after Giannis Antetokounmpo suffered his latest calf injury, there's still no potential timetable for the return of the Bucks' star power forward. As expected, an MRI did confirm a right calf strain. Milwaukee's 11th in the East, 3-11 this season without Antetokounmpo. Might the team consider sitting him the rest of the season given his history of calf injuries? Coach Doc Rivers.
No, there's no thought to that. But listen, there's no timetable either. We thought we had waited longer the first time, and at points he was 100%. But there's calf strains all over the league. I can't give you the answer. Why?
NFL one less candidate for the Bills head coaching vacancy. Former NFL quarterback Phillip Rivers withdrew from the search. Meantime, Buffalo interviewed Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb today. The team's also considering Jacksonville offensive coordinator Grant Udinski. He withdrew his name from the Browns head coaching search. Browns QB Shedeur Sanders replacing New England's Drake May for the upcoming Pro Bowl games.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Tuesday. The Super Bowl might be 2 weeks away, but it's never too early to give you my keys to the game. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Hope everybody's doing all right with the weather. I think largely Baton Rouge in the southern part of the state was spared the worst, but I know everybody in the northern part of the state and parts of Mississippi and all over the region are really fighting it. So to everybody who's there without power or dealing with damaged property, hopefully no loss of life. So hope everybody's safe out there and praying for you and that everybody gets through this event safely. But just a sunny, beautiful day, cold in Baton Rouge, but regular old day where not many people were doing much because they called off school and closed buildings and all that sort of stuff. But pretty easy day around here. So glad you're hanging out with us, man, wherever you may be. It is after further review. I was talking just briefly about Sean Payton's decision not to kick the field goal there in the first half to go up 10-0. And we're talking about why coaches hate points and Greg sent a text that field goals in the red zone are viewed as -4 on the scoreboard as opposed to +3. I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe that is the mindset that some have. But again, you can't assume the touchdown, and it's fair to say you can't assume the field goal. It is a field goal attempt. But in the NFL, if you're there inside of the 20-yard line, you're talking about a kick inside of 40 yards. That's a PAT. It should be automatic for these teams, or for these kickers. There was another one where Brett said NBA points have never been higher. NFL offense is also higher. Why would they go back to prioritizing field goals? I didn't say prioritize field goals, Brett. I didn't say prioritize field goals. In a situation where you have the opportunity to score, you're prioritizing scoring. You're not prioritizing field goals. You're prioritizing points. In a situation where you can get points, affect the scoreboard, affect a game, you take the points. And in this instance, it proved to be, again, an instance where you... And there's so many instances, too, that people don't talk about, like where you chase points early in a game, you're going for 2, where it's unnecessary. And had you kicked the PAT, maybe later in the game, a field goal ties it instead of having to go for a touchdown, or whatever the case may be. So the bottom line is, I know not everybody is going to agree with me. But it's, there's you see similar instances in other sports, certainly. Someone mentioned there the proliferation of the three-point shot in the NBA. You just don't see mid-range jumpers anymore. It's either dunks or threes. Like, that's largely what the game has become, because the analytics have proven rather sit out there and shoot a shot that can give you 3 points as opposed to working harder to get for a shot to give you 2 points. It's same thing in baseball. Strikeouts have never been higher. We're at an all-time records for strikeouts because most hitters, I shouldn't say most hitters, are not interested in walks and singles. They're interested in home runs. You'll take 1 for 5 with 4 strikeouts if the 1 is a 3-run homer. It's a different way to accumulate offense, but it's something that you just see more in the game today. So I don't think me talking about this is going to change it, but it was a very clear example on Sunday where Sean Payton had an opportunity to go up 2 scores early in that game with a backup quarterback, knowing the weather was coming, chose to be aggressive, went for it, didn't make it, and it bit him. His team didn't score again. It cost him an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Speaking of the Super Bowl is 2 weeks away. The Senior Bowl is this week. A little perspective on Mobile here in just a quick second. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Actually was over at South Point last week. Got to see Mr. Bill, Brad, Mr. Carey, the whole crew over there at South Point Volkswagen. And, man, the selection right now is awesome. 26s are on the lot. If we're talking about Atlas Cross Sport, the Taos, they got so much inventory. So whatever you're looking for, if it's a midsize SUV, the full-size SUV, the sedan, they got you over at South Point Volkswagen. Style, feel, performance of luxury, the great safety features, and you're going to get it at a great price as well. Manufactured right here in the U.S. of A. So some people worry about tariffs. You don't have to worry about tariffs because they're manufactured in their Chattanooga, Tennessee plants, so you're supporting American jobs as well. South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All this week, Flynn and Hester on Off the Bench, they'll be broadcasting live from Mobile for the Senior Bowl, Monday through Thursday, I should say, this week. And they'll be going to the practices in the afternoons to give reports and talking to a lot of the players and coaches and administrators over in Mobile as we gear up for the draft. So what you're seeing this week is a lot of pre-Senior Bowl mock drafts that are dropping. There's 2 in particular today that I wanted to highlight. One from Daniel Jeremiah at NFL Network, and the other was one from Pro Football Focus. The consensus, really unanimous, number 1 overall pick is Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. But what was interesting about this one from Daniel Jeremiah, first of all, he did have Mansour Delane. This is the highest I've seen Mansour Delane mocked. He had Mansour Delane mocked 5th overall to the New York Giants. One spot ahead of David Bailey from Texas Tech going to Cleveland. So Mansour Delane, 5 overall, that would be amazing for Delane if, in fact, he goes that high. And I've said repeatedly, for me, with the Saints picking 8, there's really 3 positions I'm looking at. It's wide receiver, edge rusher, cornerback. If you can get any one of those at an elite level, you do it. But we're starting to see more and more of this in mock drafts. Daniel Jeremiah has the New Orleans Saints taking running back Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame at 8 overall. He says, I love, no pun intended, the idea of pairing Tyler Shuck with the most electric playmaker in the draft. I will respectfully disagree with Daniel Jeremiah, but it's not just Daniel Jeremiah. The folks over at PFF, in this case it's Dalton Wasserman, has his mock draft up as well, and he also has the New Orleans Saints at 8 overall, taking Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. Noting the Saints were 31st in the NFL in their rushing grade this season from PFF. And with Kamara about to be 31 years old, obviously it would be an explosive back in the backfield. Listen, if you've followed this show for any length of time, you know how I feel about this and where I'm going with this. I despise the idea of taking a running back with a top 10 pick. And that is not to suggest that Jeremiah Love is an overrated player. It is only to suggest that a running back in the NFL has been devalued, rightly so, that you can get value at running back in the NFL without using a top 10 pick on that player. I would rather get a player that can affect the game singularly using the 8th overall pick instead of taking a player that relies on heavily on other players for their success. What I mean is, you look at Ashton Genty this year. Ashton Genty was a top 5 pick of the Raiders, and the Raiders were the worst team in the NFL. And you can say, well, that's not Ashton Genty's fault. And you're right. It's not Ashton Genty's fault that the Raiders were the worst team in the NFL this year. So, too, is it true that without a quarterback and a good offensive line, it doesn't matter who your running back is. So, and with seeing running backs' careers shortened, it also just illustrates even further why you shouldn't invest that type of resource in a running back. I mean, you look at the NFL this year, and the rushing leaders, I mean, James Cook led the NFL in rushing this year. Derrick Henry, who was a first-round pick, was second. Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, 7th, McCaffrey, 8th, Javonte Williams, and Saquon, 10th. I guess my point is, I could look at James Cook. I could look at Achane and Kyron Williams, Javonte Williams. Like, these aren't guys that were top 10 picks in the NFL draft. You know, the Derrick Henry going in round 1 or Christian McCaffrey being a top 10 pick and having the staying power and longevity that he has at a high level, those are the exception, not the rule. I mean, we saw New Orleans with a makeshift offensive line, a rookie quarterback, and practice squad players at receiver have a competent running game with Audric Estime. That's not to suggest that Estime is a better option than Jeremiah Love, but it is to suggest I can find a viable running back option that can produce while using a top 10 pick on a player at a position where I can't find that type of value later in the draft. So if you can get the best corner or a top 10 edge rusher or a top 10 pick at receiver, you're not going to necessarily find that level of productivity when you pick at the top of round 2 or further in the draft. So I know we're going to see this more and more and more because of the Saints' issues at running back with people projecting Jeremiah Love to New Orleans. I think there are better options in free agency or later in the draft for New Orleans than using the 8th overall pick for Jeremiah Love. But that's a conversation we're going to have a lot between now and April's draft, and you're going to hear me say that over and over and over and over again. All right, it's After Further Review. Y'all, we're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, arco.com, arco.com, ARCCO, arco.com. You know, unfortunately, with the weather that's come through here this weekend, it is a reminder of the necessity of a business like Arco. I mean, so many homes and businesses right now are left without power. Now, with Arco, remember, we're not talking about home standby generators. These are Generac industrial generators, standby generators for your business, for your commercial or industrial facility. Whatever type of business that you're in, if it's the industrial sector, if it's grocery stores or gas stations or banks or schools or hospitals or any type of municipality, you need critical backup energy solutions when the storm hits, be it a hurricane or an ice storm, whatever's going to knock out the power. You have to have options to stay online for your business. That's what Arco does. And they do it for a gigantic footprint. Home base is right here in Baton Rouge on Airline Highway near I-12, but Arco services a giant footprint, a multi-state footprint. North to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio. Draw a big circle in that footprint. Arco Power Systems can serve you. You know, if this storm, this inclement weather, has served as a reminder of the need for critical backup energy and power solutions, you need Arco. It's time to make that call. Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here as we roll on through this Monday edition of AFR. By the way, in hour number 3, I'm talking about Jeremiah Love, me not wanting the Saints to use a top 10 pick on Jeremiah Love. There is a free agent, a pending free agent, that I think the Saints should target. And I will get to that coming up in 1 hour and why I think that makes a lot of sense. So that is coming up here on the show today. I'm not just going to criticize. I'm actually going to give you another option. Let me knock out a quick break. Now that the draft deadline has passed for underclassmen to enter the draft, and in the portal, most of the dust has settled, I want to take a view of what rosters were most affected by the draft and by the portal. We'll kind of look at that and a couple of them that LSU actually plays coming up this fall. We'll talk about it as we continue here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, my guy Darren James just keeps on hanging banners. I mean, every time a new award is doled out, you better believe Darren's going to be at the top of it. LPT Realty 2026, the top nationwide realtor at the fastest growing brokerage in history. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Top local mail marketing realtor, MAIL, by the way. Top digital marketing realtor at LPT nationally. The top producing realtor both in Denham Springs and Baton Rouge and all over Louisiana. The number one realtor for LPT in the state of Louisiana. Absolutely incredible. Darren just keeps hanging banners, collecting awards, and the proof's in the pudding. If you need to sell your home, you need the realtor that sells more homes than anyone with the best strategies to implement. You need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I have no doubt that Our Lady of the Lake will keep me healthy. They make sure to do whatever they can in their power to make sure that we are 100%. They're constantly giving us resources, giving us advice on what to do. I think that just really helps us be the best players that we can be.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
.1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust want to cover your car payments. Enter to win $5,000 plus a bonus shot at 6 months of Benny's Car Wash. You can get extra entries by subscribing to our Louisiana.net daily newsletter.
LouisianaSports.net.
It's free. Enter now at 1045ESPN.com.
You said Louisiana.net.
Oh,
that's not the website.
No, LouisianaSports.net.
That's the one. Yeah, that's
daily newsletter.
That's the one you want, not Louisiana.net. I don't even know what Louisiana.net will bring you to.
You
not our website.
You should have already subscribed to that, but if you haven't, now it could earn you free car payments.
That'd be a good thing to do.
There you go.
Get you some free car payments. Get you some free car payments, y'all, at LouisianaSports.net. That might have confused people, just like some Ole Miss fans were confused on Saturday. Some people can't be helped, and some people just want to be pissed off at things. So I got word on Saturday that LSU added another assistant to Lane Kiffin's staff. They've added Fred McAfee as the assistant running backs coach under Kevin Smith. So we reported this over at LouisianaSports.net, and I put out a tweet saying as much. The tweet that I put out read, and I was very careful with how I worded this tweet because, as you might imagine, being that there is a former New Orleans Saints running back by the same name, there might be some people confused if I just put Fred McAfee, because people would assume that Fred McAfee was the former Saints running back, but that's not who it is. It's his son, who was an Ole Miss running back from 2021 to 2023, who has the same name, spent last year on staff at Ole Miss under Kevin Smith. So I tweeted, former Ole Miss running back Fred McAfee is joining the LSU staff as an assistant running backs coach to Kevin Smith, source confirms. And I also add, he is the son of former Saints running back Fred McAfee. Oh, the horror. Literally the first comment from Joe King. Here you go. Here it is. Paula, you can pull it up. Joe King, Ole Miss. He played at Mississippi College. Do better research, Matt. Damn ridiculous. Define irony. Idiot blaming me for not doing research in a tweet illustrating his lack of research or his inability to just read. I literally said he is the son of former Saints running back Fred McAfee. Yes, former Saints running back Fred McAfee went to Mississippi College. His son, Fred McAfee, the one who played at Ole Miss and is joining LSU staff, played at Ole Miss and is joining LSU staff. Idiots. Joe King at Ole Miss King on Twitter. You're an idiot. Like, I don't know how I'm going to make it to September with all the Ole Miss people. Like, the lion's share of the reaction to that was, why you got to say Ole Miss? Because I have to clarify which Fred McAfee it is. It doesn't stand to reason I could only put Fred McAfee because people would be confused like that idiot was confused. And I haven't put in the tweet that it was the other Fred McAfee. Ah! Somebody asked me today, like, who do you think Ole Miss is going to be cheering for when LSU plays Clemson in the opening weekend? I don't know. I mean, you got Dabo out there pile driving Pete Golding, reading receipts. They hate him now. And, of course, they hate Lane Kiffin. Boy, I mean, this massive amount of penis envy from Ole Miss fans, the collective Ole Miss fan base, is just stunning to me. It shouldn't be, because, like, when you've been a runt for 6 decades, been an also-ran, have not won a conference title in more than 60, not national, they have not won a conference title in 6 decades. And they didn't even win the conference. They didn't even go to Atlanta. They have never played in the SEC championship game. Congrats. Ole Miss, Vandy, Kentucky. Bro, South Carolina, Mizzou, and Mississippi State and Arkansas have been there. Like, you suck. You've sucked a long time. For 6 decades. You taste a modicum of success for a year. And boy, they just don't know how to handle it. And my goodness, like, I don't want to just see LSU win that game in September. I want LSU to steamroll, dump truck, embarrass every single ounce of that entire fan base. Program everything in September. I mean, I realize you got bigger fish to fry. You're trying to make a playoff. You just made this massive investment. But my goodness, those people are insufferable. And it's rooted in the fact that they're not used to success. Like, they don't know what that feels like. And so even things as simple as a tiny report about an assistant running back coach triggers them. And it's just annoying. Like, I think I'm just venting here. You probably don't care. But God, is it like 85% of my Twitter mentions now are just Ole Miss fans bitching. And it is so annoying. Like, I am ready for that program to be reduced once again to the irrelevance with which they have existed over the last 6 decades. Like, go away and don't matter at all. Like, and I have no doubt that's where Pete Golding is going to land them. Either that or on probation or something like that, for all the stuff, but whatever. Fred McAfee, son of former Saints running back Fred McAfee, has joined the LSU staff. So too has Georgia offensive assistant Ty Hatcher. I think Football Scoop was the first to report that. So Hatcher, 25 years old, worked with Charlie Weis, or will work with Charlie Weis, assist with the quarterbacks, tight ends, all that stuff. He was on Kirby Smart's staff, helping with the offense over there. So a couple of offensive additions over the weekend to Lane Kiffin's staff. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Remember, refractive surgery is more than just LASIK. If years ago you were told you're not a candidate for LASIK, okay. Well, that procedure has advanced so much over the years. But even beyond that, there's LASIK, there's PRK. If you're nearsighted or farsighted, there's EVO ICL, which is the implantable contact lens. There's a custom lens replacement. There's so many options, which is why I always tell you, no matter your age or your refractive issue, the Williamson Eye Center can help. Just go for that consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or online at williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com. All right, it is After Further Review. I didn't intend to go on that diatribe there. Sometimes it happens. Let me break so I stay on time. I do want to talk about this because now that the portal cycle is sort of slowed and we know collectively which players have left school early for the draft. Like, for example, Fernando Mendoza at Indiana. That's a really, really significant one, a player that's left early for the NFL draft. There's a couple of teams that LSU plays this fall that are sort of ranked among the teams hardest hit by early entries to the draft. So I want to talk about that as we continue. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Had a call earlier today from my friends over at Rev, and it was a local Rev call center because they are local. Rev has been local for 90 years. As we switch now at our home, I've told you before, here at Guarantee Media, we're Rev customers. At Parish Construction Roofing, we're Rev customers. Well, Rev just now laid fiber in my neighborhood so we can switch to their fiber internet, which I'm fired up for. You know, power goes out, your storm comes, power goes out, whatever the case may be, and you lose internet, that stinks. Well, you don't have to worry about that because Rev, when they have the all-fiber network that's buried under the ground, so you don't have to worry about a tree limb snapping, falling on a cable, something like that, or winds blowing it over and knocking out your internet. Everything's buried under the ground. So you'll always have high-speed internet up to 5 gigs backed by an all-fiber network and 90 years of local service. It's Rev, R-E-V. Go to the website. Check them out there. 70,000 Louisiana business and homeowners. Trust them. Let'sRev.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabre Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabreChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I definitely trust the lake to take care of my body. Being the smallest person on the court, I just have to be in a lot better shape than everyone else, just being quicker and faster. Just having that trust on and off the court is going to help you win a lot more games.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Always appreciate Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Got to see Brandon and Adrian this weekend, man. We had the Guarantee 100 party. Guarantee Corp turned 100 years old last Monday, the 19th. And Saturday at a giant party celebration of 100 years of serving Louisiana and our local communities. And just an amazing night, man. The Foster family, they've been locally owned and operated now. You know, our president and CEO is Flynn Foster, third-generation owner, operator. And his sons, Luke and Landon, are now working in the business. And one day will be fourth-generation owners of this company. And just an amazing Louisiana success story. His grandfather, Flynn's grandfather, Mr. Foster, Mr. George Foster Sr., started Guarantee Corp or Guarantee, at the time Gillico, Guarantee Income Life Insurance Company, in 1926 during the Great Depression. And fascinating man, was a Louisiana State Senator, knew Huey and Earl Long, and lived a great life. His son, George Jr., who we all affectionately refer to as Mr. Foster, really just grew and expanded Guarantee, brought Guarantee into media when they bought WAFB, the television station back in the 1960s, then bought radio stations, and now what we know today is Guarantee Media. But just a remarkable success story. Glad to be able to be a very small part of the century of success, and looking forward to the next, being part of the next century for Guarantee Corp. So great weekend over at LeBear's. We're celebrating again. Got to see Brandon and Adrian Holly this weekend. They were there. So great partners of ours for many years here on After Further Review and on here at all of our properties at Guarantee Media with Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. So the many rosters are really set now for next season. For college football, the deadline for early entries to the draft is passed. For all intents and purposes, the portal is done. There could certainly still be portal ads, right? You don't have to. A student athlete doesn't have to make their transfer decision by the time the portal closes. We've seen that portal window is just the opportunity for players to enter the portal. But for all intents and purposes, most portal decisions have been made that will dramatically affect rosters. There is no spring portal window. There is a February signing day for high school, so you could still add 2026 prospects in the February window. But by and large, rosters as far as impact players are set right now. And so it was interesting to stumble across this where our friends over at CBS kind of took a look at the programs that were most affected by early entrants to the draft. Ohio State was really among the most affected. Indiana with, Fernando Mendoza, Omar Cooper, Carter Smith on the offensive line, D'Angelo Pons, their great cornerback, all leaving early for the draft. Miami, Francis Mauigoa, Ruben Bain, some really significant ones. But there were two on this list that LSU plays in 2026, so that's certainly irrelevant here. And one of them is LSU's season opener in Clemson. So Clemson not only, does Cade Klubnik leave for the NFL draft, and Klubnik could have come back for a fifth season, but Klubnik's off to the NFL. Well, Peter Woods, TJ Parker, the defensive lineman that we talked about much leading up to that game, they both, as expected, left for the draft. Avion Terrell, who is going to be one of the first cornerbacks taken, also gone, as is wide receiver Antonio Williams. So you have Clemson coming off a 7-6 season, losing Woods, Terrell, Parker, Williams, and of course losing Cade Klubnik as well. And Clemson's transfer portal class is ranked 72nd. Like Dabo, as we know, I'm not breaking news to you, Dabo just hasn't been a proponent of the transfer portal. It's just not something he wants to use to build his roster, and it's going to be to his detriment and I believe ultimately his demise there at Clemson, because this is the way that rosters are being built. And even still, this is a little bit of a dipping your toe in the water. They're 72nd. They added 9 transfers this year. And, for 25, when they added a couple, that was their first foray. Will Helt from Purdue, the edge rusher, was kind of the big addition that they had. So 9 this year. So they're moving in that direction, but it's still not nearly enough to compensate. So you're going to have a green quarterback losing a ton of talent to the NFL, coming off a 7-6 season. LSU, that season opener in Baton Rouge. I'm not trying to predict and preview a game that's 8 months away, but just as an illustration where Clemson maybe later in the season, as a lot of their new players gain more experience, might be better later. You catch them at a really good time, catching them week 1. Now the other is a team you do catch later in the season that may actually benefit that team, but it's still going to be fascinating to see what happens at quarterback in Knoxville. So Tennessee is the other LSU opponent that made this list of the teams most affected by early entries to the draft. So Jermon McCoy, who didn't play this year because of injury, but is a guy who is projected potentially to be the first cornerback off the board in this year's draft. Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver, Colton Hood, their other cornerback, Arion Carter, linebacker, a lot of defensive players there coming off the board who have left early from Tennessee. So we'll see, as Josh Heupel goes into year 6. But that's going to be a fascinating trip for LSU. I've been asked a couple of times, by people. I was doing Morning Scone today, and someone asked me, hey, I'm going to make it into Baton Rouge for one game this year. Which game should I go to? And this is an epic home schedule for LSU. You're playing a 9th league game, and so you're going to have really an awesome SEC schedule, and you add Clemson. So in addition to Clemson, A&M comes to Baton Rouge again this year. You're going to have Alabama come to Baton Rouge, Texas come to Baton Rouge. It is going to be an awesome home schedule. State makes their return to Baton Rouge. And so that'll be interesting to see what they look like with Kamario Taylor. Really is the full-time starter this year. But anyway, there's 2 ways to look at it. The season opener, when Clemson comes to Baton Rouge, is going to be a whole scene. I mean, Labor Day weekend, all the build-up to this season, the opener of the Kiffin era, Dabo and Clemson coming in, returning that trip, and LSU's going to be favored in the game. Like, that is going to be a scene. That is going to be a plum madhouse. And LSU should win that game. So that's the fail-proof. Like, that's if you're looking for the great environment, that's the can't miss. But if LSU cooperates and gets to November playing meaningful football, those home games against Alabama and Texas are going to be full throat, peak Death Valley, because you're actually playing for playoff seeding, all that sort of stuff by the time you get to November. So they got to cooperate. Now, you stub your toe a couple of times along the way. You drop a home game to A&M, maybe you lose at Ole Miss, whatever, God forbid, but you drop a couple, then you got to play at Auburn. Maiden voyage for Alex Golesh, but Jordan Hare's never an easy place to play. There are booby traps and landmines all over there. So by the time you get to November, it could be a little bit of a let the air out of the balloon if you get to that game against Texas and you lost 2 or 3 times, right? Now, knock on for Mike, I hope that doesn't happen. But either way, like, this is why for years I've always advocated for getting rid of the crap games nobody wants to see. Look at what the schedule looks like, man. It's going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal theater up and down the schedule to watch. So, in any event, Clemson, Tennessee, 2 of the teams most affected by early entries to the draft, and neither crushed it in the portal. I mentioned Clemson as the 72nd ranked class, Tennessee the 22nd ranked transfer portal class, and they still got a big question at quarterback to see what's going to happen there with Joey Aguilar. If he doesn't get a TRO or an injunction to be able to play another year, they'll have more turnover there at quarterback, and that's a program that they added 21 commitments via the transfer portal, but they swung and missed on the elite level quarterbacks in this portal cycle. They went after Sam Leavitt, he picked LSU. They went after Brendan Sorsby, he picked Texas Tech. They added, so their addition was Ryan Staub, right? Who is the backup at Colorado this year. So that's if Ryan Staub does become the starter at Tennessee, he will be still a first-time starting quarterback there in Knoxville. So a few things to keep an eye on here as we sort of take the 10,000-foot view of the college football landscape here as the portal cycle is slowing down. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Check out our friends over at Rouse's. Man, I saw earlier today, every week they keep introducing, they're opening 2 new stores for 5 straight weeks over at Rouse's. I think today was Mandeville. I'm trying to check their Facebook page to make sure I got that correct. But, last week we were over in Gramercy. The week before they were near us in Central. Just saw this. They're hiring for their Hattiesburg store as well. So check them out over at Rouse's, the official supermarket. Yeah, there it is. 7 hours ago, open in Mandeville. Open daily 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So shout out to our friends on the North Shore. They are open now at Rouse's in Mandeville. You can get all the deets there on their Facebook page or their social media. You can always go to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, with 76 locations now at Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Get your king cakes, beautiful floral department at that location there as well. There's all the king cakes. My goodness. Just like as far as the eye can see, king cakes for days at Rouse's. And They can ship your king cake anywhere in the lower 48. So get to the website at rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouses! This feels like home. All right, y'all cruising along here, man. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2. When we come back, Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks 1 hour from right now. Auto Locks are already posted over at louisianasports.net if you want to get a jump start on them. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 2 on AFR.
AFR.
Well, this is one of those, hate to say I told you so, but I've been telling you for months to call River City's 1 Hour Air, get your heater safety check. And hopefully with these temps, well, right now it's 35 degrees. We're getting back down into the 20s tonight. But hopefully your heater is cooperating. I'd hate to think of our friends and neighbors going through a freeze like this and not having your heater operating and functioning appropriately. But listen, when we come through this, or if you're having issues right now, call our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You can spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Their technicians will always come out nights and weekends. So if you're having issues with your heater, give our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air a call, 752-0001. River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
For the review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Super Bowl 60 is set. Excited, man. Next week, we'll be there on Radio Row in San Francisco. Not for the full week. We're going to fly out on Tuesday. We'll be doing AFR from Radio Row. It's Super Bowl Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll get there early enough Tuesday to start getting you some content. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, AFR from Radio Row in San Francisco. We're looking forward to it. We did the full 5 days in New Orleans this past year. I think what we learned was Monday was pretty slow. Tuesday was a little better than Monday, but Wednesday was like, oh, okay, this is what everyone talks about. Wednesday was the day when everybody sort of descended upon New Orleans, and it was just building to a crescendo into the weekend with the game. So excited about it, man. We'll be wheels up on Tuesday to do AFR starting on Wednesday from Radio Row out in San Francisco. First odds are out. By the way, we always have all this stuff up for you at LouisianaSports.net. There's a sports betting section at LouisianaSports.net where give you a lot of odds and prop bets and a lot of different stories that if you're into sports betting, revolve around there. We do have a piece up there with a lot of prop bets, but also the initial line for Super Bowl 60, where the Seahawks 4-point favorites and the total 46 is the early line there for Super Bowl 60. You can get it all over at LouisianaSports.net. All right, it is After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Muso, Tigers and the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
And we start in the NFL with championship weekend a day ago. Start with the New England Patriots. They have the most former LSU Tigers. Kayvon Chason, pretty nice day. 5 tackles, couple hits on the quarterback. Almost got home a couple of different times, but nonetheless, definitely impacted the outcome there and put a lot of pressure on Jared Stidham. Excuse me. Kayshon Boutte, just the one catch for 6 yards. He was targeted 6 times, just the one reception. Not his best given the playoffs he's put forth, but also it was just not really conducive to passing the football for the entirety of the second half there in New England. So, but Boutte and Chason, along with Braden Swenson and Will Campbell, they will be heading to the Super Bowl. For what it's worth, Will Campbell, per Pro Football Focus, did not give up a sack in the ball game. I played 64 snaps and did not give up 1 sack there. And it's good because he was struggling a little bit there in the first 2 rounds. For Omar Spates in the Los Angeles Rams, Omar was the leading tackler for LA. 11 of them in the ball game, including 1 of those for a loss. Of course, his team falls short. You do see Anthony Bradford had a couple penalties in the game on Sunday night, but anchoring one of the guard spots, and he will also advance into the Super Bowl. Joe Brady, we've been keeping you up to date here on the potential for him to land a head coaching job. He was in Las Vegas on Sunday night for his second interview with the Raiders. That interview wrapped up this afternoon on Monday, per Adam Schefter earlier. It's the second round of interviews around the country. Joe Brady has interviewed for just about all of them, but the opportunities, I guess I should say, starting to dwindle a little bit. Of the 10 jobs that came open, just 3 remain open. That is Vegas, Buffalo, and Arizona. Of course, Brady has been the offensive coordinator for the Bills for the last 2 seasons in a full-time capacity. That's Tigers in the Pros.
I want to remind you about Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. Our crews are out and about working today. We will never put anybody on a roof if there's a hazard, so basically if it's wet. But because things dried out, it is safe for our crews to get out and get up and do inspections. So if throughout this winter weather you did discover you have any roof issues, we're happy to help you out. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com is the website. Fill out the form on the homepage. We'll get someone out to your house. As a matter of fact, I actually had a coworker text me earlier today. Said, hey, man, actually, coworker said, how much does it cost to get an inspection to have someone from Parish come out and look? I said, well, it's free. Roof inspections are free. And by the way, if anybody ever tries to charge you for a roof inspection, run the other way. That's number one. But we will always do a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. And this coworker saw a water spot on his ceiling. And it's one of the things I tell you about often. Normally, when you start to see the water spot on the ceiling is when you notice you've got a drip that's sort of been accumulating, and that's probably not new. It's probably been accumulating. You're just now starting to see the water spot. It's not always the case, but in a lot of instances it is. But when you have a big deluge like we had Saturday and Sunday, it's when you start to see more of that. But we can, of course, come help with the smallest repair up to the largest roof replacement on a commercial job or a residential job. So bottom line, you have anything going on with your roof, we'd love to help you out. parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Just go to parishbuilt.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Tiger basketball team lost on Saturday, blew another lead, this time at Arkansas. 85-81 was the final. Disappointing. Tigers led by 4 at halftime, 37-33, but just couldn't hang on in the second half. So now LSU falls to 1-6 in conference play. Interestingly, I've seen some bracketology where they're still a bubble team. I mean, you're going to have to get to 500 in conference play, which means you'll have to go 9-3 the rest of the way. I just don't know how that's even conceptual, like how that's a thing that someone could think could possibly happen for this team. Just their inability to finish. And it's unfortunate, man. Look, if DJ Thomas were healthy, you probably beat A&M in that conference opener. I mean, you lost in a brutal buzzer beater at home against Kentucky. I mean, just those two going your way. And if you're 3-4 in conference right now, it just gives you a dramatically different feel about how you may play out this season. But Tigers sitting there at 1-6 in conference play and probably missing postseason yet again. Hour 3 is next.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. They've done it since 1916, and I know I've been saying it, but I'm going to keep saying it because I know this is going to resonate with people. This is the time of year that is their busiest time of year at First South Farm Credit, and it makes sense because this is the time of year where people, as hunting season is wrapping up, deer season's wrapping up, people will make the determination that they are done hunting on someone else's property. They're done on someone else's lease, sharing a lease. Because for a lot of different reasons. It's not yours. You don't want to kill the big buck because the person who owns the property may want it. And it's just, anyway, people say I'm not doing that anymore. Well, if you're ready, when you're ready, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. It's FirstSouthLand.com.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. Earned both on the court and off. And every step along the way, I trust Our Lady of the Lake to keep me in the game.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes because it takes a champion to care for champions.
On the court, I trust my team. For my health care, I trust the lake.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. An MRI, as expected, confirmed Bucks power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo has a right calf strain. His potential return date remains uncertain. Despite his history of calf issues, Milwaukee hasn't considered resting him the rest of the season, and there is no lack of interest around the league regarding Giannis ahead of the February 5th trade deadline. It is time the sides part ways, says ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
At this point, Giannis is wearing out his welcome, and on the other hand, the Bucks are just holding on for what? When you could trade this guy and get back with everything and more. And at some point, somebody's going to have to make a stance. I think I put more ownership on Giannis to go to the front office and tell them what he wants than them just because they're just going to continue to hold on.
NFL, the Bills interviewed Broncos passing game coordinator Davis Webb for their head coaching job today. They're also considering Jacksonville offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who withdrew from consideration for the Browns vacancy. Cleveland quarterback Shedeur Sanders added to the upcoming Pro Bowl games. He's replacing New England's Drake May.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. For those of you who worked today, I know a lot of people had the day off because of the threat of weather, but like so often happens in these parts, they shut everything down. Ends up being a beautiful day. Canceled the day for sunshine. That was cold. I ain't gonna lie, it was cold. But thankfully, certainly here in the southern part of the state, largely was spared from a lot of the ice and the damage. But a lot of people in the northern part of the state, I know some parts of northern Mississippi and other parts of the region of the country have really been negatively affected with damaged property and infrastructure. And so our prayers are with everyone and hope that everyone sincerely did make it through okay. Property, physically, everything. So we're glad to be here, though, and truck along. If you are spending the day and maybe just cooped up in the house with nowhere to go, nothing to do, thanks for being here, man. Turn up the radio, turn on the TV, on WBTR, YouTube, wherever you may be. We're glad to have you hanging out with us, so thanks for being here today. All right. We've mentioned a lot of mock drafts are starting to roll, considering You've got the start of Senior Bowl week this week. The Combine's right around the bend. A lot of teams, there's 30 NFL teams that are starting to prepare for 2026. There's only 2 more preparing for another game, of course, the Patriots and Seahawks for Super Bowl 60. But what you're starting to see is a lot of mock drafts, and a lot of mock drafts have the New Orleans Saints selecting Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. Now, I am very, 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 very opposed to that approach. And it is not to suggest that Jeremiah Love is not a good football player. It is only to suggest I cannot be okay under most any circumstance taking a running back with the 8th overall pick. It's just a position, as we've seen, that has been dramatically devalued in this era. And with that being the case, it's so hard to justify that. Now, I don't want to be the guy that sits here and says, don't do that without providing a solution. Because I think what we can agree is that New Orleans needs a viable solution at running back. Alvin Kamara will be 31 this fall. We hope that Devin Neal gets healthy, stays healthy, and can maybe be a gem that you found in round 6. I think Audric Estime had a nice finish to the season. Do we believe that any of those options are solid options for the next 3 to 5 years? I don't know that I could say that definitively about any of them. So you're looking for an option. Well, I have one. And actually, PFF put out a piece for the best landing spots for the top free agents. And they look at like Kenneth Walker and Mike Evans and George Pickens and Malik Willis and Tyler Linderbaum and a lot of these top free agents. Well, they do project one player among the top free agents going to the New Orleans Saints. And that is running back Breece Hall of the Jets. They note that a myriad of injuries in the backfield left the Saints running game underwhelming. 31st in the PFF rushing grade this season. Just 3.4 yards per attempt on design runs. 31st in the NFL. Just 6.5% of runs went for 10 or more yards. That was the lowest in the NFL. Saints were a bad offense this year. They mentioned enter Breece Hall. Career year in 2025, his PFF grade was an 83.5, 26 explosive runs. And the Saints, by the way, led the NFL with inside zone usage at 35%, one spot ahead of the Jets, of course, who utilized Breece Hall in that role. So, not only is this a good young player, but a player that would also tend to fit what New Orleans would do. Now, I'm going to pause. I'm going to come back to how they make Breece Hall make sense and make it work. But I want to again illustrate why I do not believe you need to make the investment of a first-round pick and a running back. A lot of this, I think, are things that you probably know, but when I illustrate this, it's going to make it even clearer. If you look at first-round picks at running back, like let's just go back in the last decade and a half or so and look at first-round running backs by year. Ashton Genty went 6th overall this year. The Raiders were the worst team in the NFL. I'm not suggesting it's because of Ashton Genty. I'm suggesting that even with taking Ashton Genty 6th overall, it didn't impact your offense positively. The Chargers took Amarian Hampton 22nd overall, another first-round running back. Now, the Chargers were a playoff team, but Hampton scored just 4 times and averaged 4 yards a carry. Falcons used a top 10 pick on Bijan Robinson, went 8th overall. And Bijan Robinson, I think we would all objectively agree, is a dynamic offensive player. Can we all agree on that? And the Falcons also just fired their coach. Jahmyr Gibbs was the 12th overall pick when he went to Detroit in 2023. He's been a very good player. Najee Harris was a first-rounder in 2021, as was Travis Etienne, one pick later, 24th and 25th overall in that 2021 draft. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a first-rounder in 2020, didn't finish out his rookie deal in Kansas City. Go back to Josh Jacobs in 2019. Saquon was the second overall pick in 2018. Rashad Penny, Sony Michel, Leonard Fournette. Christian McCaffrey was the 8th overall pick in 2017. Zeke, 4th overall in 2016. You get the point. Bottom line is, I'm just illustrating what you already know. Running backs are devalued. There's no sense in using the 8th overall pick on a running back. So, what would a deal for Breece Hall look like? Let's start with financially, okay? And this is courtesy of Spotrac. They do a good job putting all these numbers out there and everything. If you look at the market value, they put for Breece Hall a projected contract at $10.4 million average annual salary, 4 years, $41.5 million. 4 years, $41.5 million, average annual value of $10.4 million. For context, the contract that Alvin Kamara signed pays him, at age 29, by the way, pays him an average annual value of $12.25 million. You would be getting Breece Hall entering his age 25 season. Breece Hall's 24. He'll turn 25 on May 31st. On that projection, you could get Breece Hall, 25 years old, on a 4-year deal, paying him less in average annual value than you're paying Alvin Kamara, who you signed at 29 years old. It is affordable. He is young. And, oh, by the way, Breece Hall has also been a durable running back. He played in 7 games his rookie year, played in all 17 games in his second year, and then each of the last 2 years he's played in 16 games. So he is affordable, young, and durable. Check, check, check. Yes, please. You can give me a guy that's a young veteran, proven to be an efficient, effective running back in the NFL, so you eliminate that question, is effective in the offense you run with the inside zone schemes, and you don't have to use a top 10 pick, which you could then in turn use on a receiver, an edge rusher, a cornerback. Yeah, absolutely do that. It proves, again, that you can get running back value outside of a top 10 pick. Breece Hall was a high second-round pick. He was 36th overall when they took him in the 2022 draft. And if New Orleans wanted to wait and use a second-round pick on a running back, I'm okay with that. But the opportunity with the 8th overall pick should be reserved to get a player of value which you cannot equal in round 2, cannot likely equal in round 2. If you have the opportunity to select an elite edge rusher, 8th overall, you do it because those guys are not there with a 30s or 40s pick. Do you sometimes find Trey Hendrickson? Yes, but that's an outlier. It's why we can call to mind Trey Hendrickson because it's so rare you would find an NFL sack leader in round 3. You have the opportunity to draft Arvell Reese, you draft Arvell Reese. You have the opportunity to draft an elite level corner. It's why you don't see Derek Stingley hit free agency. If at 8 you decide Mansour Delane is your pick, or McCoy from Tennessee, or whomever is the elite level corner in this draft that you need to pair opposite Sugarwater McKinstry so you have a true number 1 and let McKinstry go be what he is, which is a number 2. Great, do that. Don't use a top 10 pick on a running back. And again, that is not a knock on Jeremiah Love. It is a referendum on the value of that position in today's NFL. So, if you give me the option of using the 8th overall pick on Jeremiah Love or signing Breece Hall to a contract, a 4-year, $41.5 million deal, give me Breece Hall 100 times out of 100. It'll be a big, big, big off-season talking point as we look at what the Saints are going to do to fortify and build an offense around their dynamic young quarterback, Tyler Shuck. And running back's going to be a spot that they got to address. All right, it's after further review. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Stick around. We'll continue on AFR.
After further review.
Well, when it's 33 degrees outside, it's hard to try to sell you a pool. But actually, this might be the perfect time to try to sell you a pool. Because when it's freezing, we allow our mind to wander what it's like when you have that backyard paradise. As a matter of fact, last night on our LouisianaSports.net group chat, was mentioning I'd rather 110 degrees over 10 degrees any day. And I said because when it's 110, I could pour me a tequila, grab me an ice cold Bud Light, and go hang out in my pool. Get some natural vitamin D, get in the water, have a cocktail, enjoy the day outside. When it's this cold, brother, you ain't doing nothing outside. So, you want to build that outdoor paradise? Duplessis Builders can help. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
If you're just joining, missed it earlier, little bit of news today. Diana Rossini reported that Charlie Weis Jr. did, in fact, speak with the Philadelphia Eagles about their vacant OC job. He has declined, however. He will stay at LSU. We talked about that in the open of the show today. If you missed it, AFR On Demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org, YouTube podcast. You'll find it there. But ultimately, I think what we're looking at is a reality where this is going to become a pretty consistent part of the annual offseason conversation around Charlie Weis. The more success LSU continues to have offensively is at 32 years old, he's going to be more and more in demand. The Jackson Dart connection made the Giants flirtation make sense. The Eagles coming, however, it just speaks to the more broad level of interest that teams and programs and organizations are going to have in Charlie Weis. He's just going to be one of those names, kind of like Joe Brady had very quickly became one of those names. So just something to file away. The other interesting thing, obviously, is on Friday, Jordan Seaton picking LSU, making that official. I did have a conversation via text on Monday to confirm that Seaton will be enrolled in the spring semester. So I had someone familiar with the program, let's say it that way, who I texted this morning to ask that specifically because the deadline to enroll in the spring semester passed last week. And this person told me, yes, that Seaton is expected on campus this week and will be enrolled. I know there was a photo of Seaton and Lane Kiffin with a car. That, and many assume that photo was taken today. I believe that photo was taken during Seaton's visit last week. I don't think that was a new photo. I'll try to get confirmation on that. But all that to say and to suggest that Seaton will be enrolled for spring, will be able to go through spring football. I know that was a question. And I had another source within the program tell me the way this person said it was, when there's great alignment, you can move mountains. And I think I tweeted that quote earlier. And, I think what it very clearly suggests and what it illustrates is what you've seen, how LSU was able to get Lane Kiffin hired, build the staff the way he did, and build this transfer portal class. Because you have been aligned. I certainly think that LSU, to many, will sell itself. I think Lane Kiffin is certainly appealing to many. I think money is appealing to many. When you have all three of those, you end up landing the type of portal class LSU did, and you have all three of those because of the alignment that you do have. And that should sound or seem pretty obvious, but just think about what we just saw transpire. Where, when Lane Kiffin was hired, he was asked the question about Verge Ausberry. So, what struck you about your conversation with Verge? He said, "I'm gonna let you do your job and get out of the way." But I think it's pretty clear they followed that path, and everything that Kiffin has wanted, they have given to him. He wanted Charlie Weis when it looked like Weis may stay in Oxford. They bumped him from $2 million to $2.5 million. Lane Kiffin wanted to retain Blake Baker. Well, they pushed Blake's salary up to $3 million a year to keep him from going to Tulane. He also had an offer from Memphis. Lane wanted to go sign this portal class, and I'm here to tell you, brother, whatever budget they told him or thought they had when Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock showed up, they blew that budget out the water on this portal class because everything he wanted, they found a way to give it to him, including taking Jordan Seaton to the governor's mansion, the governor making phone calls to donors on LSU's behalf to try to get money raised for this portal class so they could get everything they wanted. I mean, you want to talk about alignment from Kiffin to Verge to Wade Roos, the board of supervisors, the governor, like the whole thing. It's how you pull something like this together. Now, I said, I was doing Morning Scone yesterday, and I said, now, championships aren't won in January. And then I paused and was like, well, actually, championships quite literally are won in January. Like, the championship game is in January. So, yes, the championship is won in January. But I think you understand the point that I'm making, which is LSU had the number one portal class a year ago, and they went 7-6. So if you're meeting this right now with some trepidation, some cautious optimism, I don't blame you. But I will say, here's the big difference between what LSU did a year ago with their number one portal class and this year. with their portal class. A year ago, that portal class was built around largely one-year mercenaries. Dudes that were coming in with 1 year of eligibility remaining. They were getting paid, and LSU was all in to try to win a championship behind their veteran quarterback in Garrett Nussmeier. You had Nussmeier returning after a season where he was the leading returning passer in college football, and you went and signed a bunch of dudes that had 1 year of eligibility. Josh Thompson, Berrien Brown, Bauer Sharp, Jack Pyburn, Patrick Payton, Jamari Butler, A.J. Halsey, Bernard Gooden. All these dudes had 1 year of eligibility remaining. So in a class of 18, 8 of the 18 had 1 year. And then you had guys like Mansour Delane, who you knew were going to be, one and done off to the league. And then they thought Braylon Moore would be a one and done, but Moore is back, thankfully. But all that to say, in a class of 18 transfers, 8 had 1 year of eligibility remaining. This year, you signed 42 transfers. Do you know how many of the 42 have 1 year of eligibility remaining? 4. 4 of the 42 have 1 year of eligibility remaining. You look at what they very intentionally did was build around guys who are going to make an immediate impact, but also have multiple years of eligibility remaining. So next year at this time, you're not signing another class of 40 transfers. Now, you're going to lose some guys to the NFL, right? Like Jordan Seaton has 2 years of eligibility remaining, but I don't think anyone thinks he's coming here for multiple years. If he's here for multiple years, it's because something went very wrong this year. And, knock on wood, nobody wants to see that happen. Sam Levitt could certainly be here for 1 year. Has a great season. He could be off to the NFL. Alou Ba, who's coming in from Maryland, was a top 100 player, signed with Georgia. After one season, went to Maryland. 2 year starter at Maryland. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining, but it's his 4th year of school. He'll be a third year starter this year at LSU. He very likely could be done after this season. Or maybe not. All that to say, yes, they're going to lose more than just those 4 guys with 1 year of eligibility, but you're going to retain way more with depth, and depth not just from high school guys that are 18 and haven't played that you're trying to build your depth. You're bringing in guys that have already played. So, for example, of the 42, this was the breakdown. 4 have 1 year of eligibility remaining. 16 have 2 years of eligibility remaining. 15 have 3 years of eligibility remaining. And 7 have 4 years of eligibility remaining. There were 7 players that just finished their freshman season, redshirted, transferred, and have 4 years left. So 31 of your 42 have either 2 or 3 years of eligibility remaining. So it's guys that have played major college football. Guys that are 20, 21 years old that have played major college football and still have multiple years remaining. That's how you build quality depth. How does Indiana build a team with a bunch of 23, 24-year-olds? That's how. You're not slowly building with 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds from high school. You're building with guys that have played a year or two of college football that are going to be here for a year or two, and so you're not having massive turnover every year. The other thing I think that was critically important is what they did at quarterback, and I'm not just talking about adding Sam Levitt. I'm talking about how they spaced out the quarterbacks that they signed. So keep in mind, Sam Levitt has 2 years of eligibility remaining. He redshirted his first season at Michigan State, played the last 2 years at Arizona State. Now he's in his 4th year of school and could have an amazing year and go pro. But if he wants to play 2 years at LSU, he can. That's number one. Landon Clark redshirted, then played 12 games this year at Elon. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. So Levitt's got 2. Landon Clark's got 3. And then Husan Longstreet, 5-star, who redshirted as a freshman this year at Southern Cal, has 4 years of eligibility remaining. So Levitt with 2, Clark with 3, Longstreet with 4. You have reset your quarterback room by classification. Whereas you never want to miss a year of signing a high school quarterback, but LSU has missed 2 years of signing a high school quarterback. And the guy you signed 3 years ago, Ricky Collins, is already left. Or Colin Hurley, and then Collins before him. So you've now basically gone a full 4-year cycle, and you're sitting here without any of those guys on campus. So that is that puts you in a really vulnerable spot, but it's commendable that what this staff did not only went and added a true starter and then really good depth, they did it representing 3 different classifications. So you have guys with 2, 3, and 4 years of eligibility remaining. You basically rebuilt appropriately the depth in that quarterback room. So, man, I look at the way that they strategized and did this, and it's so impressive how they were able to pull it all together. And Seaton being the gigantic cherry on top of this class, which was already epic. And then you add, a franchise left tackle. And so you look at what was the worst position group on your team a year ago on the offensive line. Now you look at getting Braylon Moore back at center, Jordan Seaton at left tackle, Aliu Ba, I'm sorry, I've been saying Aliu, it's Alu, I believe is how he says it, Aliu Ba at right guard, you've been a 2-year starter at Maryland. That's 3 spots solidified. And Weston Davis is back, who started for you at right tackle this year. And certainly I know Weston Davis had his struggles, but this staff thought enough of him to want to retain him, and they did. So whether he's starting at right tackle or competing for a job, whatever, that's a guy that's got double-digit starts in the SEC, or for an SEC team, I should say, coming back. And then on top of that, you look at Tompkins from Baylor coming in. You look at a guy like Jaquan Sprinkle from NC Central. I get it, it's FCS, but that's a guy who's been a starter for 2 years in college football. He's got more than 20 starts under his belt, right? Jacoby Jones, who was a starter at the JUCO level for 2 years coming in. You can look at a guy like William Satterwhite from Tennessee, who's been a 2-year backup there at Tennessee at center, could play center guard and give you great depth, back up Braylon Moore, maybe win a spot. Who knows? You've got, a 5-star in Solomon Thomas, who redshirted last year, who's back, who could play guard or tackle. All that to say, you go into this year with 3 starting spots solidified, maybe 4. And you've got a handful of guys that have either have experience of playing major college football, or super highly thought of. So as the biggest issue that LSU had this season, I would argue, in 25 was, man, Tyree Adams goes down. What do you do at left tackle? You take DJ Chester and put him at left tackle. The guy played center for you. Taking a center and kicking him out to left tackle just because he was your most experienced lineman. Now, God forbid, but if for whatever reason Jordan Seaton isn't available at left tackle, well, now you've got Tompkins from Baylor, who played 10 games with 5 starts at left tackle in the Big 12 this year. You're taking a guy that is a left tackle and putting him at left tackle as your backup, and might be your starting left guard this year. So it's very clear that Kiffin and Billy Glasscock had a plan. They had a plan and approach of how they evaluated and how they wanted to fill those spots on this roster, and they nailed it. Now, you got to coach them up. You got to get buy-in. You got to get a team-first mentality. You got to go game plan. You got to go win. But there's no excuses, because you've got the roster to do it on both sides of the ball. They have given Lane Kiffin everything he wants. The alignment is there to give him everything he wants. And so now, go do some high school recruiting, get set for spring football here in a couple of months, and start the expectation build to 2026. Because my goodness, with this type of roster, the expectations are going to be outsized, and that is a justified expectation for a team considering all of the resources they have been given due to the alignment that they have throughout this entire organization right now. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. You can always email us, tweet us, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. You can get involved in the show. Jimmy's here for Otterlocks in about 15 minutes. We'll get to what we learned from the NFC and AFC championship games this weekend. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Our friends over at Goodwood are closed today, but they're going to be reopened on Tuesday. And I want to remind you, as we start the new year, if you've already started to fade on your New Year's resolution to lose weight, get in shape, feel better, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. And I want to remind you, it's not just ED treatments. so many people hear the name, see the logo, and it's funny, and I get it, and it's attention grabbing, but they do so much more than just ED. Hormone replacement therapy is something men, women, you should get your blood labs drawn to see if you're a candidate. Peptide therapy I've told you about, it's been life-changing for me for my back. BPC 157. I also take NAD+. Cellular optimization, energy levels through the roof with NAD+. And remember, it's not just Goodwood, but they got Unique Physique and Unique Aesthetics and Wellness. And Unique Physique, that's the GLP-1s. A GLP-1, by the way, is a peptide. They can help you on your journey to lose weight. Visit them online, yourgoodwood.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Get them windows, y'all, over at Relief Windows. My godmother texted me earlier today. She said, "Are you still endorsing Relief Windows?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am, forever and always, as long as Brandon and Holly will let me." Great people. Y'all give them a shout, 288-8138, 288-8138, 288-8138, or go to reliefwindows.com. Windows, door, siding, they do shutters too. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. All right, we always tell you what we're keeping an eye on during the football weekend. We come back and do what we learn. Let's do it.
We watched. Now, let's review.
All right, there's only 2 games, but we peeled back the layers of the onion and found some things to watch. Break it up, Muse. What you got?
All right, yeah. We were watching. We were watching Will Campbell against that vaunted Denver pass rush, and it wasn't a perfect day, but per Pro Football Focus, no sacks given up by Will Campbell on 64 offensive snaps. Did give up a hit on the quarterback, a hurry, and 2 pressures, so that drug his grade down a little bit, but no sacks. It's pretty good considering...
Dragged. Not drug. Dragged. It dragged his grade.
Dragged his grade down. Which is pretty good, though, still. No sacks considering Drake May got sacked 5 times by the Denver defense, but ultimately it didn't matter because, snow.
Informer. No sedem snowman on the lay. Snow. He's the singer that sang Informer.
Okay.
Snow.
No.
Neither of you knew that?
No.
Jesus. Paul, go next. How did you not know that, Paul?
I don't know. Anyway, I was watching the Broncos running game. Broncos didn't do much on offense. Running backs couldn't get much going on the ground. R.J. Harvey led the team with 13 attempts. He only rushed for 37 yards. Jarrett Stidham, second leading rusher with 23 yards. Broncos as a whole rushed for 79 yards on the ground.
Naturally, keeping an eye on Jarrett Stidham, and it's about what you thought. 17 to 31, $133, a touchdown, a pick, sacked 3 times. Not nearly good enough. A QBR of 19.6. But, snow.
Snow.
Informer. Snowman on the list.
Wanted to see Sam Darnold with the oblique injury. It was there a little bit more there than maybe they were letting on, especially with an injury to Zach Charbonnet, where they're going to have to ask more of Sam Darnold. They did ask more of Sam Darnold, 36 attempts. His oblique was fine, though. Completed 25 of them, 346, 3 tuds, no picks. You saw he could really stretch the field in the first drive when he hit Rashid Shaheed for about 43 yards. So, no, he's fine. He's good. And look out. He's playing really well heading into the Super Bowl.
I was keeping an eye on Sam Darnold's number 1 target. That is Jackson Smith and Jigba. I told you last week that in his 2 games versus the Rams this season, he had 17 catches for 201 yards and a touchdown. Well, this game, he duplicated those numbers. 10 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown.
What's up?
Along with 42. Rashid Shaheed was the second leading receiver. He only had 1 catch for 54 yards.
Big one. Paulie was watching the Denver running game. I was watching the New England running game. And because, snow. If you're not playing Snow Informer by the end of this, I'm going to be really pissed at you. Like, you got to get that rolling. I mean, anyway, the running game, how about this? This is the story, right? Denver, 24 for 79. New England, 38 for $141. Snow. Hit the thing.
We mentioned Zach Charbonnet being out. How would that impact Kenneth Walker? It didn't. He hit his average. He averaged 60 yards on the ground per game in the regular season. He was at 62 for this. What it did impact, though, was the Seattle running game as a whole. Just 75 yards on the ground. Rams defense had a little bit to do with that, too. But definitely missed Charbonnet.
I was watching the Denver defense versus Drake May. The Broncos defense did their part against them for the most part. The Broncos were credited with 7 QB hits, and as Musa mentioned earlier, sacked 5 times. Former Saints Malcolm Rush was credited with a half a sack.
Did you say Malcolm Rush?
I might have. Malcolm Roach.
That was Paul's family right there.
Yeah, there he
See?
is.
Another evidence of I'm not trying to bring up LD. I'm just point being. Sometimes we misspeak, we stumble, we stutter. Malcolm Rush. With Rams and Seahawks, it was a battle of the experienced team. There it is. And this is not the snow game, though. The experienced team or the better team. And ultimately, the better team won at home. Crank it up, yes!
There's no curse words in this, is there?
No, you're good.
Okay.
And even if there were, do you think you would recognize them? Have you ever heard this song?
No, I've not heard this song.
You've never heard this song?
I have never heard this song. I didn't know this was a person. Sorry.
Paul, have you ever heard this song? Oh, my God.
It doesn't sound familiar, no.
I can see why people liked it. I mean, it's catchy. It's got a really good beat.
This makes me so sad. I mean, first you tell me you've never heard of the band 311. and now neither of you idiots have ever heard this song? How is that possible? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called you idiots. It's just my own frustration. Like, I don't get how you've never heard this anywhere in your life.
It
Ever
rings
heard this
no
song?
bell, man. Like nothing. I got nothing for you.
I mean, I get it. This was probably 1991, 92. Look it up. Like, it had to be Snow Informer. It had to be 91. And he's a one-hit wonder. Did nothing other than this.
He's Canadian.
Yes, Snow is Canadian. He actually says that in the song, although you can't understand anything he's saying in the song, which is part of the charm and allure of it, is everyone makes up their own words to it.
92.
92, so it was right on it. So I get it, like why neither of you would have been aware of this song in 1992. But it's one of the great pop hits of that decade among the one-hit wonders that still gets played today at parties and at clubs and on the radio from time to time. Whatever. So mad right now. God, how is it possible? Like, I'm not saying you gotta like it, but I never heard of it. I'm just in the phase of life where I'm transitioning into the old guy. That's just where I am in my life. We're at the Guarantee Party on Saturday. Y'all all went to the casino to go get blitzed, and I went home to go let the babysitter leave and went to bed.
To be fair, we did invite you.
I know.
We were like, come on.
No, I know. I'm saying that. And I was like, I'm not saying I wasn't invited. I'm like, no, that going down to the casino to get blitzed did not sound as appealing as going home and going to bed.
Yeah.
So I went home and went to bed and woke up Sunday and felt great, which is not the case for many of my work brethren, as I learned on Sunday morning. Saturday night was something.
It was a good time, man.
Clearly. Marler told me they went home and Allie popped 3 bags of popcorn and then blamed him for popping popcorn. She didn't realize she was the one who popped the popcorn.
So good.
Hunt Palmer lost his phone in the wall of the closet.
Yeah.
It was vibrating. He couldn't find his phone. He put it in the wall. How do you put something in the wall of a closet?
No idea.
But he did. Alondra said it was the most she drank since she cut her head open falling at a Cody Johnson concert.
Also sounds like a good night.
Did all of you get roofied? What happened?
No,
I went home.
I actually drank more on Friday night before that, but I mean, I had a good time Saturday.
It sounds like everyone did. Glad for it. By the way, this is a song called "Informer" by Snow.
Got it.
Just so you know.
Noted.
I got my what we learned today.
Yeah, for future reference. Oh! You two just constantly disappoint me. I feel like a disappointed parent. You just disappoint me. You make me sad, both of you. All the time. Just make me sad right now. Okay. If you've heard of the band Snow, can you or the rapper Snow, can you just text me or tweet me and tell me that you've heard of Snow so I don't feel like the old moron who's talking about something that nobody else knows? Surely people know this song. Have to know this song. All right, Jimmy's here for Autolocks next. Maybe he's heard of it.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Paul, put up the Watermark thing just to make you work harder. Paul put up the Renaissance graphic. Now put up the Renaissance graphic. I want to go back to that one. I'm talking about the Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet. But I would be talking about the Watermark. Watermark in downtown Baton Rouge. Beautiful. Voted by you the best hotel and the best of 225. If you're listening, not watching, Paul puts the logos on the back screen, so I kept having to make him toggle back and forth doing that. And Watermark is beautiful. Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Gorgeous. The picture of luxury. Great place to host an event. Any event. Wedding reception. Corporate gathering. But so too is Renaissance Baton Rouge. Right there on Bluebonnet. More than 10,000 square foot of meeting space at Renaissance Baton Rouge. So it doesn't matter if you're at the Watermark downtown or Renaissance Southtown on Bluebonnet. Watermark and Renaissance Baton Rouge.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane. It truly is the fuel for our future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on mountain.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come, final segment, Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'd pay to listen. Football Sunday. Overwhelmingly, the contributors on Football Sunday loved Seattle -2.5, biggest bet I made. And for that, it ended up being a very nice, very profitable Sunday. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Auto Locks.
Auto Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Hey, Otter. Jimmy?
Yes. Yeah, you got me?
Have you ever heard of Informer by Snow, a song?
No.
Can you play a little bit of it, Muse? If I play the song, you ever heard this? See, you're in the...
Yeah.
You've heard the song?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. That's all I needed. Okay, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
Great day yesterday. It was a little odd, it was kind of our last show on Sunday, and I was the only one to brave the weather, and just everybody was over the phone. But it turned out much for the best. How about the results yesterday? So we couldn't have been happier with the results yesterday. So
Broncos in the points, the under in the first game, Seattle -2.5. The only that didn't hit was Max taking the under on Puka Nacua. Like, that was blitzed in the first quarter. I was like, oh no, that's not going to hit. But other than that, man, great day.
Yeah, we had a great day. It's another profitable season. So,
Yeah.
That's hard to do for a whole football season, or for the volume that you have. So,
no doubt.
ended. And I was just figuring out, let's see. So if the First possession overtime, they scored a touchdown, then they scored a touchdown, then they scored another touchdown. The most they can get is 20 points. We're still going to win this under in Denver. So.
Rock and share, yeah.
Oh, rock and share is always good.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
What are we looking at tonight? Sorry, go ahead.
All right, we got limited college basketball.
Yep.
The Tuesday and Wednesday is by far the best, and we're going to have a nice, chunk of picks, probably about 5 or so on tomorrow night and the night after, as we shift a lot of our coverage. And it's been really fun, man. The college basketball season. One thing about it, everybody's eligible. It's high level of play, man. These teams are good in college hoops this year. And we're going to go to a really good matchup. Two teams are going to be in a field of 68. There's no doubt about that. But it's also a rematch. And we had this the first time. We had the loser the first time when Louisville was at home. It was right a pick. We start out great with rolling, and then Duke much the best here and leans on them. They went by 11 at the Yum Center in Louisville. Now the return trip, they would have covered this number on the road. So I'm going to take Duke minus the 8.5. Rarely do I take Duke because they're always public, but I've seen enough of this matchup. And then the late one, boy, you talk about a great matchup tonight. In Arizona, probably the number one team.
1 minute remaining.
Account, the number one team in all the metrics in Ken Palm and NET and everything else. They're still undefeated in a brutally tough league as the Big 12. They also play a great non-conference. And then they go to Provo to take on BYU and A.J. Devonta. He's one of 3 freshmen to score 40 this past Saturday. So I'm going with the better team, clearly the better team here. So we're going to take Arizona, road slight favorite here, minus 1.5.
Duke and Arizona, your 2 picks tonight. Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson.
All right, man. Thank you, Otter. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Clayton Knight, John Voorhees, Craig Duga, Jeremy Fall, absolutely heard of Snow. Spencer Sanborn, everyone has heard of Snow. Nate Coles, born in 91. I didn't know the name of the rapper, but I've absolutely heard the song before. Will Davis, absolutely heard of him.
AFR.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.